Next, let's see what are variables in Python or variables in any language. Let's say we have this container, and in this container we can store anything. Like for example, we can store toffee inside it. So we can have a toffee inside it. We can just have a ball inside it. We can have some like stars inside it. We can have anything inside it. So it doesn't matter what we store inside that. This box, this memory space is called variables. Variables. And why is it called variables? Because its value vary. So vary means like its value can change. Okay, so doesn't matter we have a toffee, we have a ball or a star. This container that we have is specially called a variable. After that, let's say we store inside the same box. Let's say we have the same box here, and inside this box we store some numbers. We can store some names. We can store address. We can store some value like, let's say, is it gonna rain? Yes. Is it not gonna rain today? No. Something like that. So anything we can store here. So this thing in Python or in any language is called variables. Variables. So let me just write a program and show it to you how it works. So let's make a new program here, and let me create a file called variables and .py as it is. So let me just make first variable, and I can name it anything, like for example A. It should start from an alphabet, that's all. So I can name it A1 but not 1A. So A is equals to, let's say I store my own name here, let's say Siddharth Best. Or let's say I have another variable that is like, for example, I have some number, let's say my age, B equals to 24. Or I just make a variable called pi, and I can store its value as 3.14. So these all are variables. So it doesn't matter what it stores. What it has is like this value. So this is a container. A, B and pi are container, and inside that we have the value. So here I can also have like is raining, RAINING, raining today equals false. No, it's not raining. So these are all variables, and if I print them, let's say if I just print A, so will it just print A or it will just print Siddharth Best? So let's check. Python 3 variables.py, and as soon as I hit enter, instead of A, this Siddharth Best will take the place of it. So it will replace this A and it will print Siddharth Best. Siddharth Best, exactly. So let's say if I do print B, it should print 24. Okay, so if I write Python 3 variables.py, Siddharth Best and then 24. Similar with if I do with pi, if I do with is raining today, it's just gonna take its place and gonna replace it and print Siddharth Best 24, 3.14 and false. See, so that's all about the variables in Python. Now let's deep down to how can we name our variables. So I have created this file called naming variables. So there are some rules to just create a variable, to name a variable. So these are the rules. So the first rule is that a variable name can start with a letter or an underscore. That's all. Let me show you how. So let's say name is equals to Siddharth. So this is starting from a letter, and the other one is simple. Name is or let's say this time last name equals to best. So a name can only start with either a character or an underscore. The second is a variable name cannot start with a number. So if I try to have like for example 9 name is equals to something, let's say Singh, that's my like middle name. So I cannot start with it with a letter. So this is not possible at all. The next it says is a name can only contain simple alphanumeric characters and underscores. So I can only use the letters, the numbers and underscore. That's all that I can use for a name. Let's say let's give it a value as 1. So if I try to use anything other than that, let's say I try let's say g, then some hash, then 9 equals 2. So hash is for comment, let's try something else, g percent, or let's say g dash 10 equals 2. If I try something like that, so any other special symbol other than the underscore is not allowed for naming the variable. So I can only use an underscore, the characters from capital A to Z to small a to z, and numbers. And I cannot use these numbers upfront, so I cannot use this in the starting. So the other rule is the variable names are case sensitive. So let me tell you this. So I have written this name is equals to Siddharth, and if I write name is equals to, let's put our random name as Alex. So these both are different variables in Python. So if I do print small name, so let me try like this, small name, and let me print this capital 1 name. Now if I run this program using Python 3 naming variables.py, first of all, because this is not allowed, so it's giving me an error. Let me try again. So see, this small name n is Siddharth and capital name n is Alex. So variables are case sensitive in Python. Yeah, that's all for the naming variables, and these are the